it's the, you know, I sometimes stay, haven't done it in a little while because I've been traveling less, or I've been traveling as much but going home as quickly as possible. I used to do more of, I would stay with Wikipedians at home, you know, just go and visit and sort of go out with, so these are like all kinds of people, geeks, you know, and people doing amazing projects. So, I mean, it's the diversity of it, it's fascinating.
How many Wikipedians in the world?
It depends on how you count it, but I would say people who edit at least 5 times a month is like 70 to 80,000. But then there's a much narrower group of the really active volunteers. So that's maybe 3,000 to 5,000. We usually have about 1,000 every year at our Wikimedia, our annual conference.
How many?
About 1,000.
About 1,000, okay.
But that sometimes it's like you get a lot more people from whatever. We do it in a different city around the world every year. You get a lot more local people. So it's, but there's sort of a core group there of few hundred who come every year.
How many people have ever edited Wikipedia?
I don't even know.
But that's got to be in the millions.
I remember like 1 million.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's
Right.
a good question. So some of our principles have to do with access. If you go back to the vision statement, we talk about every single person. Wikipedia is inherently global in our vision. We want everyone in the world to have access to knowledge. And this means, interestingly enough, that we are incredibly local as well, because there's no way to direct the work of Russian language Wikipedia from San Francisco. This is impossible. It doesn't even happen. Every local version of Wikipedia is written by people in that language. And so this idea that somehow Wikipedia is an American project is completely not true. It's very local, very global across the world. For us, we're very passionate about access, and in particular access to people in the developing world. Because we're a charity, we really do care a lot. We're very passionate about the next billion people who come online and how will they be able to get access to Wikipedia. One of the things that I always like talking about, we have a project called Wikipedia Zero, where we work with mobile carriers to get access to Wikipedia with no data charges for people in the developing world. This is incredibly important. And we know that not everyone has access. People may have access in theory increasingly because the price of a really inexpensive Android smartphone is dropping dramatically year after year, but airtime is still very expensive. And so Wikipedia Zero is all about this. And so when we started with this and announced it in a few countries, there's this fascinating thing that happened very organically. There were a group of teenagers in South Africa who started an online petition asking their carriers if they would offer Wikipedia for free. And I have a video here, which I'm told someone will help me get the video up, showing these young people reading their open letter. So we have to do this because, as I say, we're not really a technology organization, and I'm not that good at computers. So here we go. So this is the video.
Hi, this is a letter which me and my classmate wrote to access to Wikipedia for free. It goes as follows.
Open letter to Cell C, MTN, Vodacom, and ATAM.
We are learners in grade 12 at Sininjong High School, Joslovo Park, Milnerton, Cape Town.
We recently heard that in some other African countries like Kenya and Uganda,
cell phone providers are offering their customers free access to Wikipedia.
We think this is a wonderful idea and would really like to encourage you also to make the same offer here in South Africa.
Our school does not have a library. 90% of us have cell phones, but it is expensive for us to buy airtime.
So if we could get free access to Wikipedia,
it will make a huge difference to us.
Normally, when we do research, Wikipedia is one of the best sites,
and there is information on just about every topic.
Think of the boost that it will give us as students and to the whole education system of South Africa.
Our education system needs help, and having access to Wikipedia would make a very positive difference. Thank you.
So you've got the 250 employees.
Yep.
I don't know if it's public information, but I'm going to ask as I ask. How much money it takes to run that?
So it's all public because we're a charity. So in the U.S. we're a 501c3. So Form 990, all of our financials are published. We try to go beyond that with as much financial reporting as we can.
And we raise our budget's about $60 million a year. So again, for the 5th largest website, it's tiny. It costs, on a per reader basis, it's about 1 penny per reader per month to provide Wikipedia. So pretty efficient.
So, and you raise the whole 60 million from the audience every year?
Pretty much, yeah. We do get some grants from philanthropic foundations, you know, and we have some major donors, sort of larger donors, but the bulk of the money, like over 90%, is from the small donations, and we like it that way.
Is it public what the employees or the executives make, or no?
Some, yes.
The higher levels are
the higher levels. It's whatever the law requires. Because I mean, reporting people's salaries publicly is a bit awkward.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But for the, you know, what the law requires for the top, I forget the rules, but top 3, something like
so if you had made it private, you know, top 5 website in the world, you would have been unbelievably, insanely wealthy, right? So any regrets there?
No, none at all. And by the way, my salary is 0. I don't work at Wikipedia, so I'm a volunteer. No. I mean, my life is super interesting, and this is the thing about money your money or your life that I was talking about earlier.
Right.
It's sort of like the number of bankers who make more money than I do that nobody's ever heard of, right, is huge. And they can fucking keep it. Like, it's not interesting. Like, their jobs would be so boring. Their lives would be so boring compared to mine. I travel all over the world. I meet all kinds of people. Anybody I want to meet, I can meet, and I do.
That's pretty neat.
You know, it's pretty good, you know, to be able to just say, right, I'm going to such and such a place, and there's this interesting business person I want to meet, or the prime minister I want to meet, and I just go, hey, can I come in?
Does it work that way? Do you have your assistant or whoever call and say, it's Jimmy fucking Wales, you're going to meet him, right?
Usually we don't put it that way, but no, it's great because people, you know, they're happy to see me, and that's incredibly enriching in life, you know.
And because we're written entirely by volunteers, it's important for us that our community has certain strong principles to make this happen. So just, you know, the basic facts, most of you in this room will already know a lot of this. Started in 2001. We now have 41 million entries, 80,000 active volunteer editors every month, and we're a charity. We're a nonprofit organization. I'll talk a little bit more in a minute about the Russian language Wikipedia, but for the moment, we'll just say we have hundreds of languages. Russian Wikipedia was one of the earliest of the non-English, and more than 85% of the Wikipedia articles are actually in languages other than English. So when people think of Wikipedia as primarily an English language project, I remember many years ago I was in Germany speaking on a panel with a professor, and I was talking about the global nature of Wikipedia, and he said in a very haughty way, yes, but it doesn't do justice when Wikipedia is written in English and then just translated into German. And I said, well, actually, it's not translated into German. It's written by Germans in German, and it's written by Russians in Russia. And this is really important for a lot of reasons. If you think about the context of knowledge, you really need to understand your reader. So if I go to read about I don't know, Bollywood films, and I'm reading in Hindi, you can just casually mention something that everyone will have the shared cultural reference and they'll understand it. Whereas in English, maybe you actually need to explain something. You need to explain who this person is. Maybe it's just a few words difference, but you really have to customize and make sure that you're giving the same result to everyone, no matter what their language. So it's always been very important to us that each language version is unique. That it meets the needs of the local community. In our global nature, we're not just Wikipedia. We've got a whole host of content projects. So, dictionary project, Wikisource, Wikimedia Commons, Wikibooks, etc., etc. And so there are many aspects of knowledge. Obviously, Wikipedia is the most famous and the most successful, but all of these other projects act as a support structure in many ways for Wikipedia, but they also do their own work that's completely independent of Wikipedia. So there's actually quite a lot going on in all of these projects if you dig in a little bit deeper. And Wikipedia is actually a powerful social movement. I love this picture. This was from our conference this summer that we were in Italy. Every year we have a conference called Wikimedia. We do it in a different city every year, so it's sort of like the Olympics. You know, we have a little community competition to judge where it should be, and then we choose a city. I'm hoping someday soon we should be here in Moscow. It would be a fantastic place to have Wikimedia. And we bring together volunteers from all around the world, and they come and they share best practices. They say, well, here's the problem we're facing in our language. And then others will say, oh yes, we had this problem similar. Here's how we dealt with it. And guess what? When we tried that, it didn't work. And we tried this, and then it worked better. And so the volunteers come together to learn from each other and to learn to collaborate and to learn some of the resources that they could use that other people are using.